Hey YouTube friends, today we are at Thousand Trails Rondout Valley. I'm going to do my usual walk with Odie, give you a campground tour, let you know what I think of Thousand Trails Rondout Valley here in New York. Let's get into it. Before we get into the main part of the video, if during the course of the video you decide you like the content, please hit the like and subscribe button, turn on notifications, and drop us a line in the comments. All right, on to the video. Last night when I got to the Rondout, it was raining hard. I mean, pouring down rain, hard to see, etc. So the campground today is basically one gigantic puddle. It was definitely a puddle last night. You know, if I have one criticism already, it's that the sites and the campground itself became basically one gigantic puddle. Now, I will say, in fairness to them, it was very heavy rain, so I don't want to be overly critical. The campground itself, and by the way, we are on our walk with Odie. Say hi, Odie. Up. Where is it? Hi, Odie. All right, say hi, Odie. All right, so Odie's happy. Continuing our walks. This is a nice road to give you an overall feeling of site size. One nice feature of this park is it backs up to one creek and one stream. What the difference is between those two, I'm not really sure, but there are some waterfront, and I say waterfront, creekfront or streamfront sites. But this sort of tells you, if you look over here, how big the sites are. So that's a fairly decent sized trailer, and he's got a nice truck. You see a smaller rig over here that's still hooked up. So that kind of shows you how the site sizes are next to a larger rig. Now, obviously, if you look over here, that kind of shows you they're not particularly big sites, but they're not particularly small either. I believe there are larger sites available. Overall, the sites are medium-ish. I wouldn't say they're big and I wouldn't say they're super small either. I'm in a small site, but you know, again, I always put in that I'm in a 20-foot RV, so I don't blame them for giving me a small site. I'm guessing this is our dog park, which is not a dog park. It's a fenced-in thing with some weird tires. Let's look at the dog park. I was like, yeah, no desire to go in the dog park. Thank you very much. That's for, you know, dogs. So there's a dog park. Best feature is it has bags, which we will be partaking of, but it's nothing special. Yep, dog park. This is a good example of a site that's on the stream, or creek. I think this is the creek. It's towards the front of the park, so it's a little busier. That's the trade-off. But this is site 7, and it's empty right now, so it's 6. So we're just gonna walk up, but it's a lovely site. It's not paved. And I think that when it wasn't busy, because it's prime time, you would have this lovely creek view. And actually, listen for a second. With this size of park, often comes some nice amenities. The park has a lovely open field. It has mini golf, it has pools, it has playgrounds for your kids. I'm gonna show you those. But the first thing that struck me about the park that is a positive is this large open area outside the pool. You see shuffleboard in the distance over there, Boca ball over here, pet waste bags, which I love. But it's this large open area in the park that is, I think, a nice addition to the park. Volleyball nets and a playground for the kids. We'll go look at the playground in a minute, and the pool. The pool area is currently closed, so I can't get you too close. It doesn't open until 10 a.m. We're shooting this video early in the morning. I try and shoot these early in the morning so that nobody's around, but I just want to show you the pool area. Older pool, but it's nice. You have a large deck, and it's actually a fairly large pool. Zoom in a little bit. You see it's a larger pool. And you have plenty of chairs and umbrellas around, as well as, and I think this is nice actually, this nice shaded pavilion over here. If you do not feel like getting sun. One unique feature of this park that I have never seen in another park, I don't even know what it is. I'm guessing it's a bouncy castle, but it's not a bouncy castle, is this jumping pillows provision. What is it? Jumping pillows, rules of use, a mountain of fun. As you can see right now, it's coated in water, but it looks like it's kind of like an outdoor bouncy castle thing. I don't know, maybe somebody will tell me in the comments what this actually is, but I've never seen that before. It's in the playground area, or one of the playgrounds. There's actually two playgrounds. We're gonna go look at the sort of newer plasticky playground. As you can see in front of us, there is a swing set, etc. A swing set in front of me. And just a nice open field. Here is your second playground area, which has a nice sandbox that apparently did not get covered in the rain. Appears to be for smaller children. In front of us is the main office and camp store. It's actually reasonably well provisioned. It's at the front of the park, obviously, being the main office. Sells firewood, sells propane, sells ice, has a small gift shop, and will receive packages for you. One note about packages here, they start at $5 and I think can get as much as $30. So just be mindful of the fact that if you're sending large packages, you may get a big package receiving bill. You guys know I have really mixed feelings on this. In a way, I think it's fair that they charge you for packages because A, it's additional handling and time for their employees. B, some of the parks actually put it towards fun stuff like activities. And C, some of the parks, well, that's it. But I want to show you, this is one more view of that creek or stream. I don't know which one's which. I need to get a map. But as you can tell, it's actually pretty large, and you can see from here some of the sites backing up against it. So those would be your sites on the other side that back up against it, and you would have that lovely creek. It's also conveniently located next to the rather disappointing and rather crappy, in fact, this may be the second crappiest mini golf course I've ever seen. But here is your obligatory, mandatory, required mini golf course. Again, right now it's underwater by virtue of the fact that it poured down rain yesterday. So here is that required mini golf course. There's actually a couple features. You got some rocks that have holes in them where the balls go, and some slider things and some things to navigate. So there's a few features. It's a 9-hole course, so we're a few sandwiches short of a picnic here. You know, I guess you could double your score. I don't know what a good mini golf score is. One of y'all gonna have to tell me in the comments. But it's next to the creek, so you can enjoy the creek while you mini golf. As I mentioned, there's a lot of seasonal sites here and or full-time sites and or annual, but I will note that if you look behind me, the cabins for those are actually really nice. And one thing I will note about this park for the annuals is they tend to be in really good shape and well kept, as opposed to some of the parks I've seen where it looks like the rigs just broke and they stayed there. The activity center has an arcade, it has lots of tables, it has a goodie shop, so it looks like you can have lots of fun here. I know they have activities scheduled. I actually haven't looked at the activity schedule myself because I won't be here long enough to partake, but I just want to show you that real quick. See the lovely picnic tables, goodie store, popcorn machine, arcade games, and air hockey with a bandstand and ping pong. Who doesn't love ping pong? Another feature of this park we talked about was the wide open fields, but this is the first park that I've seen that has something like this. It's a large field with a soccer field and a basketball court. Overall, what do I think of Thousand Trails Rondout Valley? Pros, it's a large park and has large open sites. I really love that. Pro, I love the creek and stream. It's really pretty. Pro, you have a possibility, particularly if you do a site request early on, that you may be able to get a waterfront site, which I think is absolutely awesome. And you can hear that lovely creek or stream babbling the babbling brook as you go to sleep. Pro, the bathhouses were super clean and you had some privacy. Pro, I would say that the overall age and feel of the park for the RVs, etc., is on the higher end. Cons, let's talk about what I don't like. One, the sites are not paved, which most sites aren't, but yesterday when I arrived, my site was basically one gigantic puddle. So, you know, there is no way for me to get in and out of my van without tracking in water and mud, which for a van lifer is kind of hard because as a van lifer, you will know how hard it is to clean a van. So that's my first big con. Pro, there's a lot of trees, but there's not a lot of trees. They're cleared off a lot of the sites, so that's great for Starlink. If you like trees on your site, that may be a different story because it also means there's not a lot of shade. Pro, it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. I like that. I'm enjoying the solitude, the quietness, and it does appear to be a quiet park. What will I say that I don't like about besides the gigantic puddle and the lack of, obviously, drainage? I find the $5 to $30 something package fee to be a little bit ridiculous. $5 to me seems kind of reasonable to receive a package. I mean, granted, if you order 3 Amazon packages, that's $15. That's a pretty sizable amount of money. But again, I understand you can't always say, well, you know, this and this and this. But I think it's kind of ridiculous to say we might charge you up to $30 a package. Like, can you give me dimensions on that? What are the weights and measurements? How do we determine what's a $5 package versus a $30 package? What specific scientific method do we employ? Where do we give adequate notice? That's the lawyer at me, right? Like, I find that to be a little bit, I don't know, just distasteful, right? And kind of taking advantage of your guests, to be quite candid. That is my 5,000 foot overview of Thousand Trails Rondout Valley. Would I come here again? As a stopover, sure. I think if I had kids, I might like this park a lot because it does feel very safe. Feels like a great place for kids to play. If I had a larger rig, I'd be hesitant and I'd make sure I got a site that was large enough to accommodate me. And I think I'd start requesting that early and often. But overall, I can definitely see some pros to this campground. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button, turn on notifications, and feel free to drop us a comment. And if I can be of any help or assistance, let me know. I'm always here to help you guys. Thanks for watching. Take care.